are crossing the Bay River with a canoe. When we cross there, you come and take we are crossing the Bay River with a canoe. They will collect you 5 cedi, and we come and take taxi.
14-year-old Ramatu resides in Lingbisi, a remote village in the Tolon district in Ghana's northern region. Every morning, she navigates her way to school with a canoe, a taxi, and continues the journey by walking through rugged terrain and across several miles just to reach her school. Her local community has no junior high school, so after completing primary, she has to travel by foot every day to one of the nearest junior high schools in Tolong.
Taxi to here, this community 25, so every day in and out is 60 cities. And my parents see that, thing, we cannot do that until a year. So they decided and come and rented house, and come and rented a room for us.
The distance is immense, sometimes lasting 2 hours. But Ramatu says her determination to learn remains stronger.
To get the water is difficult for us because borehole is not around us. So we have to come out and give to our brother so that he will go and fetch the water for us. And the food too. Because before we get the food, we have to come to him so that he will call the parent and then to give to us the food. Because we are just like, we are working and looking for the water, we were tired and we couldn't reach. And the food too, your mind, you just be thinking about the food. So if even you are reading, your attention will not be the what you are reading.
Ramatu and her colleague, out of determination, have rented a room close to the school to avoid the nearly 10-kilometer frustrating journey they make daily. According to Africa Education Watch, a cost barrier like this is a huge potential to cause dropout, and in a scenario where parents have to make a choice between educating a boy and a girl in the face of the meager resources, the girl is sacrificed in many instances. In the northern part of Ghana, over 20% of primary school graduates drop out due to the long distance to junior high schools. This is due to the lack of junior high school in about 60% of primary schools in that part of the country. While many boys are able to survive the long distance commuted to school daily, most girls drop out along the way.
I am Abdul Fattah Rashida. I leave my house at 6 a.m. If I arrive at school, I arrive at 8 a.m. And my classmates are insulting me and call me Madam Rashida, and it affects my education. Any teacher teach in class, I sleep because I work into school. I'm very tired.
Education is a fundamental human right and a powerful tool for empowerment and progress. However, in many parts of the country, the alarming issue of sexual and gender-based violence is pushing girls out of school, robbing them of their education and perpetuating a cycle of inequality. In all the schools visited, it was noted that sexual and reproductive gender-based violence was prevalent. The girls reported in FGD that they experienced teasing, sexist comments, inappropriate touches, and bullying from their male counterpart mostly. Engagement with education officials at the district education offices in Tolong and New Drab in South District indicated that illicit sexual relationships exist between some teachers and some basic school girls. Some girls in Tolong also complained that when boys made sexual advances towards them, no action was taken by school authorities even after they had reported. In most cases, the teachers trivialized their complaints, which was unfortunate. Government has a responsibility of ensuring the learning environment is gender responsive, such that both academic and non-academic needs of girls and boys are provided to facilitate their effective participation in school. The capacity of teachers to manage sexual-based violence in a gender-responsive manner obviously needs to be enhanced to make the school environment responsive to the needs of girls and boys who fall victim to sexual and gender-based violence.
Let's use a scenario where a teacher canes a girl and then the bees get torn. Okay? Now, what happens? This girl emotionally gets traumatized and doesn't even feel like coming to school because she feels people will laugh at her. And so, if there are other ways that the punishments can be given, not even termed as punishment, but as discipline, a disciplinary measure can be taken, then it will keep the girls in school. I've seen girls who have got hurts on their legs. I've seen girls who have got marks on their hands because of how the punishment was given.
Stella Jimalabi is a teacher at the Adentan Community School in Accra. She narrates some incidents in the classroom and the school environment that keep both boys and girls away from school.
I've heard of other courses where the children come to report and some teachers shout on them. It's there, you can't rule them out. But I feel those teachers are yet to be enlightened on their relationship, creating a safe space for the learners. And so the actions are being taken by some teachers. Some teachers are still learning. And I know that as we go on to advocate for safe school where the child can walk to any teacher or anybody in the area to complain about abusers, then results will come.
Textbooks and supplementary reading materials serve as windows into different worlds, offering insight into history, science, culture, and beyond. They have the potential to challenge stereotypes, promote diversity, and shape the way learners perceive themselves and others. As society evolves, so should the content within educational materials to reflect a more nuanced understanding of gender roles, identities, and relationships. Hence, there is a dire need for teachers to be trained to use gender-responsive pedagogical approaches in the classroom.
Within the occupational aspirations of children, teachers play a key role, in shaping this. Teachers are virtually the career counselors in our schools, and so how they portray certain occupations as being the preserve of boys or girls definitely go a long way to shape the preferences of the girls and boys, as they progress. So, for instance, if you want to promote girls' participation in science-related TVET, you should have teachers as part of their pedagogic practices, giving encouraging examples of role models in TVET who participated in engineering or science-related TVET programs and have become successful. If they hear the names like Constance Swanica and other females who have become trailblazers in TVETs in the areas fully dominated by men, including metal and fabrication, engineering, etc., then they get the understanding and the encouragement that they can also be, TVET practitioners within the engineering, metal and fabrication space, even though they are girls.
Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, says both boys and girls must feel safe and valued in their learning environment, and hence gender-responsive pedagogy has become very crucial.
Well, there were schools where in some textbooks, the only example of a girl in a textbook was when someone was washing in the house, which portrayed that, girls were good in doing household chores. And there were examples of other occupations, like a policeman, a soldier, a pilot, and a doctor, and they were men. And it's one of the textbooks that existed in the school. And so if you read our reports, the Girls Participation in Basic Education report, which has just been published, and I have a copy of the report here. If you read the report, you'll realize that in the annexes, we have actually featured the sections of the books that we thought were carrying gender irresponsive pictures, that we believe carried a negative message, to girls and boys.
Promoting the participation of boys and girls through gender-responsive pedagogy requires a comprehensive, and multifaceted approach that takes into account their unique needs, challenges, and aspirations. By employing innovative pedagogical methods, schools can create an environment where girls especially not only enter the classroom but thrive within it, setting the stage for a brighter and more equitable future for all. The Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Dr. Eric Nkansa, outlines measures put in place to address the challenges that inhibit the participation of both boys and girls in schools.
If you look at the new curricula that are being developed or that are being implemented for the basic schools, they highlight the need for teachers to employ gender responsive pedagogies in teaching our young ones. And we've been partnering with a number of development partners in this area. I can name a few. If you look at what we're doing with KOICA in some selected districts, KOICA is working to, apart from improving and whipping up interest in girls in STEM, whipping the girls' interest in STEM, they are also helping our teachers in sensitization and training workshops as to how to deliver lessons which are gender responsive. If you look at what Prada UNESCO is also doing, quite a number of things, apart from the fact that they are whipping up interest in science for girls, they are again also engaging in capacity building processes and ensuring that our teachers are equipped with the right set of skills in handling gender issues in classroom.
The push for a truly free, compulsory, universal education reflects a commitment to education as a vehicle for empowerment and change. By removing obstacles in the way of both boys and girls in their access to basic education, especially those that are reinforced by gender undercurrents, Ghana would be expanding the frontiers of basic education beyond initial enrollment to make it more inclusive and gender responsive. This is critical to achieve full participation, completion, and quality learning outcomes of both boys and girls.